But this is too weird to be real, and I think that they'd be pulling me over. Later on, in a 2904 or any Cannonball, you're kind of exhausted. And 2015, it was like any other that I've been a part of. You're spending like the last 2 days before you get things, rolling, leaving in the red ball, just wide awake, trying to get, a fuel cell or countermeasures up and running, and you don't sleep like at all. You're up 23 hours a day, and it's like being a med student or something like that, or being back at Georgia Tech. So you make it to the red ball, you're kind of exhausted already, not super tired because you're so wired, you're so in the moment of, okay, we're gonna get to go. And you go, and you're great. You're great for 12 hours, 20 hours, everything's fine. And you're driving, and you are intently focused, but it wears you out. And once you're worn out, I'd say, especially about 20 hours in, things just get weird. And I mean really, really weird. You're going out into the desert, and there's this bright light that's shining into you, and it's, burned your retinas, and it's probably destroyed like every neurotransmitter that's left in your brain at that point. And then you're zonked out. And things are just kind of, okay, what did I just see? I was driving some pretty good clip into California. There appeared to be some human population in the vicinity, but visibility was great. And I saw maybe 500 feet ahead this weird creature, this gray thing. It trotted just like a possum. And it went, I was like, what the heck was that? Dave was like, huh? I didn't see that. And then I was braking at that point because I'm like, it doesn't really have a place to go because there was a concrete barrier wall in the middle. And it went, I didn't want to swerve and, cause a wreck or anything. And it was like, whoop. And Dave was like, I don't remember what he thought I hit, but I think that he thought that I hit, a rock, like maybe somebody's like granite tombstone or something, or a giant log or something fell out in the middle of the road. I'm like, no, I just hit that weird possum creature. It was like the size of a raccoon though. Here in the Southeast, we make a sport of running over possums. And sometimes they will not even resist. They will just like stop in the middle of the road, pretend to be dead, and then you'll hit them, and they're easy pickings. It was super freaking massive. And later on, found out that it had done a good bit of damage to the car, but nothing seemed too bad at that point. Kind of took it easily for a mile or two, and then just kind of kept going on. Well, shortly thereafter, and I was kind of shaken up from that, big quick trip or something, right in the middle of the road, the interstate. And instead of gas dispensers, it was like telephone booths. I'm like, what the heck is that? This isn't the interstate. This is like dangerous to have this in the interstate because we'd have to stop. I think that I misinterpreted where Dave was trying to point me to go because he was a co-driver doing about half of the driving at that point. He pointed, go to that one. I hit one of these spots of like maybe 8 different booths in this agricultural inspection station, one that was not open. So I drove around through these bollards, just the most awkward kind of quick maneuver, and then just carefully slammed on the brakes, looked up at this guy, I'm like, and he looked down at me, and it was just this weird, are you transporting any fruits or vegetables? And I was like, I had no idea what this guy was asking. I was like, huh? So Dave obviously knew exactly what this was because he'd been to California many times, and he's like, no, we don't. Just leaned right over me. I didn't say a word. It was like another situation that I had dealing with law enforcement a few years later on a Cannonball with Ed. He said, just go on, go on. So Dave had to take a leak. I think that it was about time for a driver switch. So pulled over, and I pulled over right in the light, and then Dave was like, no, we need to go further down. So I pulled another couple 100 feet down, and I got out, and I didn't even think, twice about it. Got out a flashlight and started like really kind of in a paranoid fashion looking at every single facet of the car. And I couldn't find anything. And I was like, this must have done some damage to the car running over that, whatever that creature was out there. Like 5 minutes later was thinking, those guys are probably staring us down, and we probably had the cops called on us or something, and Border Patrol is going to be all over us, searching us. But that never happened. I guess that they see a lot of crazier weirdo freaks. Maybe an hour or two later, we were still out in this California desert that seems to go on for like freaking forever. And the concrete was so bad at that point that I'm pretty sure that we went airborne, and we didn't know what to make of it. It was like the entire road going to be like this. So we warned some people, here somewhere near Badwater, stay out of the left lane because you will probably go airborne if you're doing more than 100. So, okay, now people know where we are, but at least we're gonna keep people a little safer. Coming down I-40 like a year later, there wasn't that problem again. I think that they'd actually bothered fixing that. Another, who knows, half an hour, 2 hours later, looked like a Chevy Avalanche, like a brand new Chevy Avalanche, and you'll see these things occasionally being driven like from dealership to dealership, and they look brand new, and that there's something going on. And he was just camped out in the left lane. I'm like, what are you doing, man? There's nobody out here, should be in the right lane. But it looked peculiar enough that I slowed down, and I was like, this has gotta be a cop. And I came up and slowly passed him on the right. And it was like a mirage. It appeared out of nowhere, and it said police, but it kind of came in this line of, you could see the P and then the O and then the L and the I and the C and the E, and I'm like, what? From what I've read, you're not supposed to be able to hallucinate something in that sort of clarity. It was the most vivid, surreal, holy cow, that's police. I think that I asked Dave as the co-driver, did you see that? And he didn't see it. I'm like, okay. So I'm now having visual hallucinations. This is good. Everything else seemed fine. I just kept going, and then I sped back up to our nominal cruising speed. And 10 minutes later, I saw a Chevy Avalanche in the left lane. Looked brand new, like something from a dealership. I was like, wait a second, I saw this 10 minutes ago. And I looked, and it was the exact same font, exact same kerning, slightly italicized. And I looked at it more intently this time. Didn't move, it didn't do anything weird. I was like, what the heck is going on here? I think that this is actually real. But this is too weird to be real, and I think that they'd be pulling me over. Well, come to find out months and months later, this actually was real. They call it ghost lettering. It's flagrantly a jerk thing to do, but that's the thing that they do now.
Are you looking to buy your dream car? Premier Financial Services offers the flexibility of financing with the tax benefits of leasing. The PFS Simple Lease offers quick approvals and easy termination when you are ready for the next car. Visit our website and follow us for more.